Tubers and my friends out there in the electronics world. Working on a dark sensing circuit now. Bear with me because I'm not going to do a lot of explaining. This video is intended to ask questions and seek a bit of help. So I'm not trying to teach this stuff. I'm hoping that anybody who cares to listen from this point forward already has worked on dark sensing circuits. I'm not talking about the absolute basics here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have a Joule thief that is typically pretty high power, and with even one battery can make one of these 4-watt, which is wired in 6-volt lamps, blast. And you can see my super cap videos. Now, it's an absolute standard Joule thief, and its base is tied to this positive rail up here through a 100 ohm resistor at the moment. It used to be 300 ohms, but now it's 100. Now, so what I'm doing here is I'm using a smaller signal transistor to supply positive rail to this Joule thief. In other words, this Joule thief does not have a positive rail unless it gets one from the emitter of this signal transistor. Now, the base of this signal transistor is tied to real battery negative through an LDR, and in almost like a voltage divider fashion, the other end of that junction is tied to positive via this 10K pot. So you come off the base LDR, or sorry, come off the base 10K pot to positive, LDR to ground. Emitter of that signal transistor is supplying positive to the whole Joule thief circuit, and they share common negatives. So the negative of this main Joule thief circuit is also the negative of this. So in other words, the Joule thief does not see any positive until this thing starts pushing current. Now, you might say, well, why wouldn't you put the LDR over on the actual base of the actual Joule thief? And I have not had any luck with that. It just does not behave. So that's why I've gone this route. So the whole intention of this is to not have what it's doing right now, which is working but feeble. Now keep in mind, this has to work on a volt or less, a volt and a half or less. Okay, the intention is that eventually this will go on the super cap, and so I can't go up to 3 volts, I can't go up to 6, 12, none of that. I've got a beautiful 555 circuit that does dark detection brilliantly, sharp on, sharp off, full current flow, but it's a 12 volt circuit. I'm trying to stick with one cell circuit here. So if I have this as is, you can see when I pass my finger over the LDR, it comes on. But the problem is that it doesn't come on strong enough, and I'm trying to determine. You can see here I have so it's come on now because it's dark, alright, in the room, but you can see it's not real strong. And what I'm trying to do is, you see, if I switch the light on, it does shut off, so it's working. But how do I get this thing to push more current? I tried taking this output of the signal transistor, and instead of having it supply positive current to the Joule thief, I just used it like in an amplifier sense and sent it to the base of another transistor to see if that worked, and it made no difference. So how do I get more current? How do I take what is working here essentially on a 1.5 volt, not step up in any voltage, and get this thing pushing, get it pushing 400 milliamps, because this circuit wants to suck a lot of current and I can get it to work in several fashions, but it's feeble. Okay, thanks for watching.